Hello everyone, how you doing? And welcome back to another video. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Now yesterday, Shane Dawson dropped his first video in the TanaCon series. And as you may have saw, in one of my last videos, I spoke about TanaCon, why it was a disaster, what happened, and how it was Tana Mongeau's fault. And originally when I found out that Shane Dawson was also going to cover the situation with Tana Mongeau in a 3-part series, I openly wasn't for it. I thought, this could be a bad idea. For some reason, I was in the mindset that this video was going to be more of a defense of Tana Mongeau rather than an actual open discussion about what happened and going into the sort of conspiracy theory sort of vibe of it. And I don't know why I was in that mindset at the time, but obviously we were proven wrong about this. Shane Dawson is one of my favourite YouTubers of all time, and I am open to disagreeing with anyone that I like. Because I have to say, the first part of the series was pretty fucking solid. The video in my eyes was really, really good. I broke it down on stream, we all had a conversation about it, and genuinely, I thought it was good. But today, on this channel, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Because today, I want to take a look at what Tana Mongeau said in Shane Dawson's video, take a look at Good Times Live and the CEO, and then also go into my own personal conspiracy theory. Yes, we're going to be doing a conspiracy theory about TanaCon. So we do have a lot to talk about today, so let's just get straight into it. So basically, the premises of Shane's video was basically he was interviewing 2 fans of Tana and Shane that were at the actual event, and they were basically going off with the sort of vibe that this whole thing wasn't Tana's fault and it was actually the event's fault, Good Times Live. They basically go on to allege that the company made the event deliberately be a disaster. They sabotaged it for bad press so they could get into the spotlight and get publicity.
If this was truly planned to make it as chaotic as it was, and I hate to think that, to just, you know, get their name out there, get their crowd out there, any publicity is publicity for them, unfortunately. And that's the first thing that came to mind. It's like, even if it's a bad reputation, it gets their name out there.
You really think that whole thing, this whole TanaCon thing could have just been like, I didn't even think about that. You think it could have been set up to fail so that it would be like a Twitter moment?
I think so, absolutely. A company is not going to care about one single YouTuber, unfortunately, and Tana was the face of this.
Now what she has said here genuinely isn't that far-fetched, because in most situations, more or less every single situation in business, bad press is typically fantastic for a business. For example, take a look at Logan Paul. He went through so much shit. Everyone was hounding him for what he did in January and December, rightly so too. But now he's set to have the biggest white-collar boxing match of all time with KSI. If that doesn't show that bad publicity just leads to more good publicity, I don't know what does. Logan is very close to 18 million subscribers, and everyone back in the day of January genuinely believed, well, this is going to be surely the end of the Pauls. But no, it was, if anything, just the beginning. Bad publicity is fantastic because not only does it get your name out there, it also gets your name to people that shouldn't even be hearing about you. For example, when PewDiePie was having a massive scandal for saying the N-word, I had him being spoken about by a 60-year-old woman in the place I used to work at. That's crazy. To hear an elderly person talk about PewDiePie, it's ridiculous. I'd go as far to say bad press is better than good press if you're looking at it a business perspective. And that's purely because more people talk about the wrongs of things than the rights. No one really wants to ask like somebody. People just want to talk shit. People want to talk drama. Everyone loves drama. And yes, that is very fucked up when you think about it. It's very bad how the world works. But if you look at television, you look at films, you look at news, it's always been that way in humanity. Bad press is good for any individual in business. If this whole TanaCon event wasn't a disaster and it was a massive success for the company that was hosting it, that necessarily wouldn't be absolutely fantastic, because let's be honest lads, before this event was announced, before last week, did you know who Good Times Live were? Before Shane Dawson's video about Tana Mongeau and TanaCon, did you have any concept of what the fuck this company Good Times Live was? Because personally, I didn't know who they were a week ago, and I'm a YouTuber. I know a fair bit about networks in YouTube. I had no acknowledgement whatsoever who this company were, but now everyone in the entire world knows who they are. Now that is something we'll get into later in the video. It kind of dwells more into conspiracy theories than actual facts, so we'll get into that later on. I just want to highlight now the part when Tana Mongeau, the woman of the hour, comes into the video, and this is the only part of the video that genuinely annoyed me. Obviously not because of Shane Dawson, but it's kind of because Tana Mongeau appears to sort of victimize herself in this situation.
I realize this is wrong, and like, yes, it doesn't matter my intentions. Like, people have to give responsibility. Things have to be wrong. Michael can't keep doing this to people. Chris can't keep doing this to people. Like, just everything. Like, I get it. I understand where you're coming from to the fullest extent. I've been really afraid for the past 2 days about saying anything negative about Michael or Good Times, because it's like, no matter how dirty they did me, like, it's my fault. Like, I agreed. I should have listened to people who told me not to work with him. I should have done better research. Like, you know, I just don't know. I don't know what to say. Like, do I talk about the fact that I was lied to about, like, venue and capacity sizes? Do I talk about the fact Michael literally got people from Anaheim, like Marriott, to lie to me about that? Do I say those things, or do I just take full blame?
So the reason I think she's sort of victimizing herself here is purely because she says that the company lied to her, but she doesn't know what she has to say to the public and her fans. So the company have made her life hell. They've spoken shit to her, they've spoken shit to the fans, they've lied, and everything like that, but Tana Mongeau doesn't come out and speak about it. I don't get the logic here. It's not like she's been afraid about talking things in the past. And if the company really have done all these bad things such as lying to Tana, well, if she came out and spoke about it, necessarily wouldn't be slander because it's happened. Therefore, it cannot be defamation of character, it cannot be slander because these things have happened and Tana is open to telling her fans what has happened to her. So it begs the question, is Tana telling the truth or is she being incredibly naive? Because in my eyes, Shane Dawson shouldn't be making these videos, it should be Tana Mongeau making these videos. I feel like to an extent, Shane Dawson is far too nice, especially to people to Tana Mongeau, and that's not an attack of his character, it's more of a compliment, but the problem is, I think Tana Mongeau fully understands that Shane Dawson is too nice and she can take advantage of that. And Tana continued to annoy me and rub me the wrong way after the video ended with the video trailer. And now before I start the trailer, I just want to say, genuinely, I do actually sort of believe Tana what she's saying here. Because as I said in my last video, I don't think Tana Mongeau deliberately sabotaged this event. I think she wanted it to go ahead. There's no reason for her to want this thing to go to shit. But even when I believe her, I'm still against her because she's that fake of a person. It's so irritating. I want to back Tana, but I just fucking can't. Her previous apologies have been terrible and Shane highlighted that in this video. I mean, even in the past, she's so fake. She pretended to not understand what the definition of the N-word meant to escape criticism. I don't get how people can really trust her. And when I see her doing this in the trailer, I just think, why?
There's so much more wrong than the people outside, and that's the first problem, that you think that that's the only thing wrong. I love you. Down is so much.
Well, this is taking quite the turn.
I said on stream yesterday, but it's still relevant now. Look how done Shane looks with the fact that Tana is crying. I'd be done too, man. I'd be completely fucking done. And now crying on YouTube is absolutely fine. I applaud people who put their actual emotions onto their YouTube channel, but when you're kind of trying to squeeze out tears for your YouTube channel, when your fans have been fucked over, at that point, I think that's bad. Tana, you don't have to constantly tear up every time you've done something wrong. In fact, I feel like people would treat you with more respect and feel more genuine about you if you didn't do that every time you've messed up. Now, I highly recommend going to check out this video from Shane. I mean, at this point as well, I think Shane's second video is out on it, but yeah, go check out both of them because it's a fantastic video and I'm sure the second one is going to be equally as good. But now I want to delve into something that caught my attention halfway through the video when one of the girls starts speaking about the website and their history with scams.
And the funny thing is too, I don't have it saved anymore, but as soon as I try to go back and find those tickets, I had the tab saved and I refreshed the page and it literally said page not found. It said like organization or page linked to scams. Like that's exactly what it said. I'm not even joking, I'm not exaggerating that, I'm being dead serious. I don't have it anymore, it was on my laptop, but it literally said linked to scam.
Now it might shock you, but some people in my Discord server did some digging and did some research to find out that there's actually some good evidence to back the fact that Good Times Live could actually be a scam. And this ultimately came from when a friend of mine received a notification after he went on the website saying that the website itself isn't secure. It says that you shouldn't input any sensitive information such as credit cards, passwords, debit cards, every single secure part of your information. You basically shouldn't enter it anywhere on this website. And it gets weirder and weirder when you take a look at other websites and how they accept payments. Websites such as Trainline, where you can buy train tickets. You can always most certainly use a PayPal account on a website to pay for something. Usually, a website that is official will let you use your PayPal account to use your PayPal balance to pay for things. But this website, this website only lets you use your credit card. And now that alone is scary because it links in to the whole security thing, given the fact that the website isn't secure and it's not letting you use secure payments. And then you see what's going on with internet cookies on this website. And I'm not talking about the good shit, I'm not talking about white chocolate chip cookies, I'm talking about the real cookies, the internet cookies. Now, a lot of you probably don't understand what that means, but you probably have seen this name around somewhere on the internet. So let me give you guys a quick definition. An HTTP cookie is a small piece of data sent from a website and stored on the user's computer by the user's web browser. So practically this thing stores data from websites such as passwords, even credit card information, and it is a legal requirement for a website to ask you if you will allow cookies to be used on their website. But the thing is, with Good Times Live, they don't do that. They've actually breached legal requirements in my eyes when they automatically just make you use cookies. So they automatically are getting access to your data. And this is very scary when you think about it. This is just more easier ways for this company to steal password information and credit card information. But it goes even deeper when you look at the CEO of the company, Michael Waste, who actually has a history of sexual abuse allegations, but also allegations of hacking. And now if you don't know who Michael is, he's basically a talent manager, also the supposed CEO of Good Times Live. He practically does fucking everything, which makes it even more suspicious that none of us really knew who he was before all of this. And he used to manage an Instagram star called Bryce Hall until that all came to end when Michael was accused by Bryce of sexual assault, but also after that accused of hacking. Michael was accused by Bryce of trying to hack into his Instagram account, so it clearly shows that Michael has a history and understanding of hacking and data manipulation. And when somebody in my server took a look into the internet cookies from the same website, Good Times Live, it was a bit suspicious considering that the cookies had been altered compared to what a default sort of internet cookie would be for a website. I'm trying to keep this as simple as possible for the people that aren't really understanding of complex computer science sort of thing here. I'm a computer science grad, but I'm trying to basically make this as basic as possible. Basically, in a nutshell, internet cookies have a default set of rules and what happens while using them. But here, Good Times Live have kind of altered that, and it really makes me wonder why. Is there something else going on here? In my conspiracy theory eyes, this is basically one massive scheme to make money from stealing passwords and stealing credit cards. Because this company came out of absolutely nowhere. I mean, they were founded less than 2 years ago, but now they're hosting an event as big as TanaCon. Now don't get me wrong, Tana is definitely still in the wrong here, and I'm not defending her. She should have done more research. She really should have looked into this more and kind of get a more understanding of who this company are and who Michael is. I'm kind of confused to why Tana didn't have a manager who would look into this and do background checks, and why Tana even did it in the first place when in the video Shane made, she said that she had friends telling her to not go with this company because they were suspicious. So why did she go with them? Now I'd like to clarify so I don't basically get sued that this is all speculation. I'm not saying any of this is proven or is factual. I'm just saying from my freedom of speech, this is kind of what I've got dragged together, and I've kind of built up a conspiracy theory in a way of what could actually be going on here. And now this delves into my next conspiracy of what a lot of people are actually talking about, and I instantly thought it when I was watching the video. What if VidCon planned all of this? Now this is kind of a wild conspiracy theory, but there is actually a lot to back it, especially when you look at how close TanaCon was to VidCon.
She was planning a convention the same weekend as VidCon.
It starts tomorrow at the same time VidCon is happening.
Right down the street from VidCon. Literally within walking distance.
Now I'm not saying that Good Times Live were created by VidCon in this massive scheme, but what I am kind of suggesting is that what if VidCon paid Good Times Live to sabotage their competition TanaCon? Because some people even ended up leaving TanaCon to go to VidCon.
12:30, I got there just in time, and by the time I got to my meet and greet, I felt very drained because of the sun and everything. I had stopped briefly to get a quick glass of water out at the stands of VidCon.
And this has obviously happened in business before. Businesses pay off people to basically go into another business and sabotage that business to make it look bad. Sabotage is something that goes on in real life, television, media in general, and in business. And in this whole business perspective, TanaCon was VidCon's main rival. It looked fantastic. There were a lot of creators going, especially when you compare it to VidCon, and maybe VidCon were worried and they thought they had to do something about this. Now, what is the best way to damage a business? Well, obviously from the inside, and that's exactly what may have happened here. But some people may argue that Shane did say that VidCon were actually helping out the event.
VidCon actually was trying to help. Like, I was getting messages and phone calls and emails from people very high up at VidCon, who I haven't talked to in years, because I haven't been to VidCon in years. And they were trying to help. They were like, what can we do?
Now, genuinely, they were probably just being nice and they were being helpful, and there probably isn't this crazy conspiracy theory, but it is fun to speculate. And when you think about it, a lot of the time, criminals do return to the scene of the crime. And it is very common in a lot of criminal cases that the most innocent party, a lot of the time, is actually the criminal. And what a fantastic way to get the suspicions down away from this, from going over and giving water to everyone, helping out, bringing security, doing all that good shit. This is really an interesting theory to me. I'm genuinely kind of believing this to a weird extent now. This is something I don't usually do on my channel. I never usually speculate. So I would love to know what your guys' thoughts on this theory are. Do you have any opinions or any thoughts or any conspiracy theories of your own? But to conclude this video, I want to say that I'm genuinely so confused to where this is all going to lead. At this point, I don't solely believe that this whole thing was Tana Mongeau's fault. If it was even a majority part her fault, it most likely was completely Good Times Live. But she does need to take responsibility for some part of this. The event was called TanaCon. She needs to take some level of responsibility for not doing enough research. She needs to tweet about it. She needs to make a video about it and not make Shane Dawson do all the work for her. I mean, for fuck's sake, one of Shane Dawson's fans spent $1,000 on this trip.
As soon as he announced that he was going, I bought a ticket, and then I was like, oh, now I need a flight, I need a hotel and stuff. Can I afford all of this? No. But I did.
I was like, oh, that's really cool. You know, like, Shane Dawson doesn't really go out to conventions. I spent $2,000 to fly from Hawaii.
Well, and that's another thing. I don't even know if I'll get to meet Shane tomorrow. I paid $1,000 just to be here with my plane ticket and with the hotel.
The rumor is that all 5,000 people that were at the event actually paid for a ticket, a $65 ticket, which is $325,000, and that is a lot of money to the common person. And Shane did say that a lot of people, if not most people, traveled to the event and got hotels and got planes there. And if you basically take the average of £1,000 per 3,000 people, that is $3 million alone. And some people even said that they paid more than 1,000. Some people paid 2,000. A lot of money has been lost in this. And things could even get more suspicious when you look at the fact that the company Good Times Live was suggesting hotels to stay at, and then maybe they're owned by a parent company like most other companies are, who have investments in hotels. It just goes so deep when you think about it, and it is fun to speculate, but I genuinely do hope a lot of people get their money back. And I know most can't get most of what they've spent, because you can't get refunded for your plane ticket, you can't get refunded for your hotel ticket, you can't get any of that back. You can only get your fucking 95, 65, whatever you spent dollars back, and you're basically losing $900 if you've traveled there, and that's genuinely sad to see. It really is sad to see, considering that's a lot of money for an average person. There is definitely something very suspicious going on with this TanaCon event, and I feel like I have shown quite a lot of evidence to suggest that it is to do with stealing credit card information, but I'm still not only that sure. And as I said, this is all speculation. Please don't fucking sue me. Good Times Live, I beg, and VidCon, please stay the fuck away from me. But that is the end of the video. I would love to know your guys' thoughts on this weird fucking situation. Let me know in the comment section. Let me know at Twitter, at iNabber TV, and let me know at Instagram. I definitely am going to stream about this later on, as I did last night. If you didn't get there, it was a fucking great stream. We had about 1,000 people there. It was mental. And before I end the video, I would like to thank my Patreons. Big thanks to Charmskull, Lily, Leslie, Cubes Mary, Bugabadger, Dora, Ruby, Amy, Gosa, Devin, Michelle, Mel, Nicole, Uncle Tiz, Dinky Dino, Sophie, Joe, Aurelie, Anna, Lou, Henry, Sibby, Rochelle, Maya, Zombie Salsa, Crew Pastor Rob, 05 Bishop Rockstar. Thank you so much for pledging to the Patreon. It genuinely always does mean so fucking much to me. Thank you. Links are all in the description. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. And I apologize if this video was a bit messy. Peace.